Hello everyone, welcome back to another walkthrough of Dragon Age Inquisition, my second attempt with the Dragon Age Keep choices. If you have not seen the previous videos I have done with this, watch them first before watching this one. Link below will be, once I figure out how to record games on the PS3, Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. But one thing I will say, what I have to make sure I do for Dragon Age 2 is I have to make sure Fenris dies. Because nearly every time I play Dragon Age 2, Fenris always dies. That when it comes to defending the mages, he always says no, and when we meet up in the gallows, I don't say, I believe it's, you ask him to fight with you, I always say, some things are worth dying for, and, he dies later on. But then recently, I was replaying Dragon Age 2, and I somehow finally got him to still follow Hawk for some reason. And I think what changed it was because that I think it was like so weird how it works. But I think it technically works if you do all of the side stuff for all the characters, especially for Fenris. Because after you do the mission where you go into the warehouse where the Templar tells you, I keep forgetting his name, that when he tells Hawk that they kidnapped someone that she cares about, and if Bethany is alive, it'd be Bethany. If not, then it'd be anyone. Most of the times it's Isabella, most of the times, and also Varric from time to time. It's usually either Isabella or Varric for me. And there's a chest you get at the corner of the warehouse that is supposedly a sword that Fenris gets. And I'm just like, wait a minute, how did I never notice that? And I think it's because every time I go there, you can only unlock that chest with the help of a rogue, I believe. I'm not sure anymore. I have to replay it again and see the chest again, because that's the one thing I didn't notice. And it just made me wonder, like, is this the first time I've seen that chest, the chest there? I always go around and I never seen that chest there. And then it said that it's a sword. You give him the sword, and he goes on about of how Hawk is a good friend, and he'll follow her to the ends of the earth. And then straight away from that, after I had that one, he literally says to Hawk after Anders blows up, well, not blows up, but blows up the Grand Cleric. He literally says, he doesn't like it, but he'll still fight with Hawk. So, eventually when I do my PS3 walkthrough of Dragon Age 2, I have to make sure Fenris dies, because as I said, I've always had Fenris dying, and that was the first time I ever had him live. So I have to make sure he dies, otherwise I have to do a third one where he's actually alive. And that'd be weird. Of course, if the Veilguard had Fenris in there, then yeah, sure. Then I'll have to redo it again with changes to the Dragon Age Keep to show, that Fenris is alive. But because, the Veilguard, it doesn't show Fenris or Hawk or whatever, And then, Dragon Age the Veilguard will also be linked below. And I hope they completely redo the Veilguard and possibly rename it to the Dreadwolf that it was originally called. Way more different. Add a Dragon Age Keep choices. Returning characters of like the Ward Commander, Hawk, and so many others. I hope they do that and make the game so much more better. And also link below as well will be my first walkthrough of Dragon Age Keep without the Dragon Age server choices. And I'm pretty sure I said that wrong. Yes. Let me say that again. The first walkthrough I did of Dragon Age Inquisition without the Dragon Age Keep choices. And obviously, link below will be other games created by BioWare, which helped create the Dragon Age games, such as the Mass Effect trilogy games, with Mass Effect Andromeda, and the next Mass Effect game coming out. Although I have heard now, supposedly, the Mass Effect game has now gotten into hot waters, where supposedly now people are saying that the game is cancelled or something. If it's cancelled, then it just goes to show that BioWare fucked up when they made the Vanguard. They literally fucked up, and that's not our fault. That's their fault. Well, that's literally their fault. It took them 10 long years to finally make the game, and this is what they did with it. It's complete bullshit. But obviously, if it's not true and the game is still in development, then obviously the next Mass Effect game will also be linked below. And similar games to how Dragon Age is played out will be linked below as well. I'm talking about like the fantasy world, the mythology world of Dragon Age will be linked below. I'm not gonna go into the specific details on those games. I'm just gonna say similar games that's like mythological like fantasy world games will be linked below. And now, picking now where we left off, we're now doing some travelings around. So, I have decided to go to the Emerald Graves. Obviously, as I remember, there won't be much for us to do, especially with some of the rifts, because some of them will be very hard for us to do, which is completely fine, and it's like so many other places here we have to stay away from. But what I'm mainly planning to do here is like try to do the best I can, look around, and then obviously return to Skyhold and try to do some more places around, because I want to do just a little bit of side stuff just before we go on and do the main quest, like either Here Lies the Abyss or the Emperor's Salute mission. Although in a way, I have seen people do like this one first and then this one. Here Lies the Abyss and then the Emperor's Salute mission. You can see both have very different outcomes, because if you do the mission with the Wardens first, they talk about that of what happens, and obviously if you don't, they don't really talk about it. But supposedly like what they don't show is that the more kind of side stuff you do in ORLA, it comes into play a lot, especially in this one, because they talk about it and you have like influential power in your presence around there. So we're gonna stick to the same thing that we did of how we did this one first, and then this one we're gonna do it exactly the same as we did. But like I said again as well, that I want to do some side stuff as well, like maybe do this one, maybe do the Emerald Graves and like 1 or 2 videos, and then move on to the Here Lies the Abyss, and then go back to like doing some more side stuff like this place, the Exalted Plains, because we really need to do some exploring too to get some points up. So we'll see what we can do. Anyway, let's continue.
Dispatch for you.
What is it?
This could help us.
Fairbanks is expecting you at the camp.
Me sers.
It is an honor to meet the Herald of Andraste.
You're too kind.
As much as I admire you, however, I did not reach out to the Inquisition just for this. As my missive stated, we can help each other. You have encountered the Freemen. Aggressive bastards, no? They've killed a dozen of my people. We've tried to fight, but we cannot match their strength. You can. Why should you care about this, you ask? Because the Freemen are colluding with your enemy.
Which enemy do you mean?
The rogue Templars. I've seen them through the woods, heading for the Freemen bases, leaving with crates. Destroy the Freemen, and they'll lead you straight to the Red Templars. This I promise.
I'll look into this, Fairbanks.
All my information about the Freemen is right here, in our camp. Help us, and everything I know about the Dales, about these woods, I will share with the Inquisition.
Fairbanks is a good man. We owe him much.
I can't believe he's making us hide out here like mice. Damn, Fairbanks is concern for everyone.
I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to talk right now. Maybe later.
Good day.
Leaving the camp's just asking for trouble. Be careful if you leave the camp.
Why not?
This war has gone on too long. Keep your hands and weapons to yourself. I wonder if there is a single place in the Dales that does not know a human footstep. some will take advantage of chaos to further their own cause.
You have it. Please, please open the door. I can't stand it in here another second.
You saved my people. We'd given them up for dead. Perhaps the stories are true.
What is your opinion of the Civil War?
When I quarrel with my cousin, wine is spilled. Perhaps someone loses a tooth. When Celine feuds with hers, a country is torn apart. Does it matter to a farmer or a woodsman who reigns in Val Royeaux? Yet they suffer. We're all weary, Inquisitor.
Who are these free men of the Dales?
Most are deserters from the war, tired of fighting and dying for a cause in which they have no stake. But recently, the Freemen have organized, started attacking anyone and everyone. Their new leaders are driving them to take the Dales for themselves.
Tell me about your people.
Simple people. Most have lost family. All have lost their homes. I found a few, helped them, found this cave for shelter. Word spread and more came. We just want to survive.
I need to be going.
Good day then.
Inquisitor, you saved Gertrude and the others. Thank you so much. This is bold of me, but if I could have a moment.
I'd like to know more about you and the rest of the people here.
Most of us are simple folk. Farmers, fishermen. Jolene over there is a smith. Just people trying to escape the war.
What else do you know about Fairbanks?
He is a good man. He found us when we most needed him. He kept us safe. He doesn't like to talk about himself, so I actually don't know much about him.
I'm here. What do you need?
This is about Fairbanks. There is a rumor that he is of noble blood. Once the war is over, many of us will return to serve our lords, to work their fields, raise their brats. And most of the aristocracy know little of the lives of commoners. They care nothing for us. Fairbanks is different. He is a great man. There is much he could do if he had the power. If the rumor is true, if Fairbanks is noble and we have proof. Do you see what I'm saying?
Does Fairbanks know about this rumor?
He doesn't like it. And he won't let me discuss it. Stubborn ass.
This rumor about Fairbanks being noble, what do you want me to do about it?
Oh, I don't mean to impose, but you travel all over the Dales, don't you? Perhaps if you found something that could help. I've written everything I know in my journal. You can look at it.
Goodbye.
Far as I'm concerned, you can give this place back to the damn elves. keys does this stupid temple have, anyway?
Look at that. Watchtowers set up to warn us if bandits or apostates attack.
Be careful if you leave the camp. Mr. Cousteau's dead. Hope she died slow.
around?
Nice work with the magic back there, Dorian. You're pretty good at blowing guys up.
It's significantly more impressive than hitting them with a sharp piece of metal.
Hey, whoa, let's not get crazy.
Our friends are alive because of you. I've got your back.
That's one way to solve the problem.
to her death.
A place to set up camp, perhaps.
they leave us alone.
I will never understand why Kunari warriors spend half their time running around bare-chested.
Thought you'd appreciate that.
It's stupid. They should wear armor.
You see a member of the Barasad in full armor. You run, because it's war.
They should wear armor all the time.
Then they'd have to invade everyone. You're so bloodthirsty.
Another of the elven artifacts.
Inquisitor.
I completely forgot about the dragon too. Don't you just love that when you go past a certain area, like not even here in the Emerald Groves as well, like the Empress de Luyne, the snowy place to the desert area. I don't know which part of the area, but it's for the Here Lies the Abyss. That when you go past a certain area, you just see dragons just flying around. You're like, but then, you know, like when you play the first two games and you see how I believe they're called the high dragons, how they are, and then you see these dragons and you're like, huh? Why are these dragons much more bigger? What's this going on here? And technically it's like that's how the dragons are supposed to be. It's almost like in Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2, they shrink them down just a little bit, and then when you get to Inquisition and then eventually the Veilguard, they're like, oh, so much more bigger. But I think it just really depends on what kind of dragon it is, because all the dragons just come in different sizes, so I guess it just depends on what kind of dragon you face, on where you do it to where you face them as well. Because technically in this one you face more dragons than you do in the other two games combined.
I hope it doesn't bother you to travel alongside a Vint, Iron Bull.
That what you are? You people all kinda look the same to me.
I'm also a mage. Would you prefer me bound and leashed?
I'd buy you dinner first.
Hopefully before you sewed my mouth shut.
Depends how much you keep yapping.
Thought I was dead for sure. Maker turn his gaze.
Inquisitor.
Something wrong?
A man in the last village. Something in his manner troubles me.
The baker with the squint and the red nose? Yeah, spy. Probably Venatori.
Why do you say that?
He watched all of us. A normal guy would focus on you because staff, or me because horns. He had a dagger up his sleeve, which no baker needs, and the knot on his apron was tied to Vinta style. I sent a message to Red. She'll investigate.
You are more observant than you appear.
The good spies usually are.
underestimated how dangerous the rift is. We should search the area. My people built a life here. It must have been something to see.
Keep your distance, strangers. Or better yet, leave.
Andaran Atishan, stranger. Inquisition, right? We'd heard you were in the area. I'm Taven. Forgive my friend's caution. We weren't expecting anyone.
What are you doing here?
Just looking.
Would you keep the secrets of this place from one of your own?
No, I just haven't actually found anything. Yet. There's a tomb, sealed since the Second Age. I believe I can find a way through.
What do you hope to find?
The truth. Elven accounts of the Old Kingdom or the Exalted March. Do you know what that could mean? So much of our history's been lost. To regain knowledge that hasn't been distorted by the Chantry, I should stop talking. If the chamber turns out to be empty, I'll look like an idiot.
What is this place?
Dinan Hanin, resting place of the Emerald Knights.
The Order formed to guard elven borders. Most fell during the Exalted March of the Dales.
Along with our homeland. I grew up with the tales as well. The knights once walked these halls. Can you imagine?
If you intend to explore the ruins, perhaps I can help.
Our initial work will be tedious, and my party's more than capable of searching the ruins. Perhaps I could send word if we find something. Doreth Shirar.
I wonder if my village is still standing. Andraste's blessing, Inquisitor.
The Freeman's leader should be holed up here. This place has seen better days.
The real owners must have left for the Winter Palace.
I haven't heard anything from the plane, have you?
No, nothing recent anyway.
When did they arrive?
A few hours ago. He's talking with them now.
There must be something here. Part of a key. There's a rune inscribed on it. Or part of one. seems to be the last of them.
Looks like that was the man in charge.
We've struck a blow against the Freemen.
From what we've heard, I'm not sorry to see him go.
Red Templars? Why not?
Seems we interrupted their meeting with the Templars.
They weren't ready for us. Whatever they came for might still be here.
Red Lyrium.
They were smuggling for the Templars.
Not anymore.
So here's where they kept the good stuff. Ah, your worship. Just watching out for local wildlife. Little glory, but it has to be done. It's just one bear that's become a problem. A huge one. Bigger than I've ever seen. It's rampaged through camp a few times, ripping apart our supplies. One of our workers broke his leg trying to get away. Next time, we might not be so lucky. It must be upset that we're in its territory. It's it or us, so far as it's concerned.
Nothing to report, sir.
You'll be quick, will you?
I'm a runner.
Oh, Bells, it's you. Morris. Sir Morris, I suppose. I am serving as quartermaster for Skyhold and its arriving throngs. Stores are growing, and so long as we have fair coin to restock, you and yours will be well served.
The previous quartermaster survived Haven. Where is she?
She had views. Has views. Perfectly legitimate ones if you share them, Inquisitor. I believe it was felt that your quartermaster should be more palatable now that the Inquisition is in Orlais. She continues to serve, just not at the fore.
What makes you ideal for this position? It's an important one.
My family has ties to several freehold militias, as well as cousins acting as officers in Ferelden and Orlais.
And your qualifications?
My family holds treaties with 3 new money Tevinter houses, and a rare Orzuma contract with a Paragon namesake.
And your qualifications?
To be honest, your worship, that was my question. I am the nexus of a dozen threads tied by others, designed to cast the widest and most appealing resource net. But I will rise to the occasion. Skyhold will want for nothing. I swear it.
How's it going? Do we have what we need?
Our capacity increases, as do our requests to suppliers. I've had to threaten some contracts. It was exhilarating.
As you were.
We are here for you, Inquisitor. Honored to serve.
Something is troubling me, Inquisitor. Leliana is receiving reports of mages becoming possessed, Templars going rogue. No one is dealing with these matters. I was hoping we might, before they get worse.
We can certainly look into it.
I will mark these incidents on the map as I learn of them, Inquisitor. And I would be pleased to accompany you if and when you investigate.
I have some more questions.
Why am I not surprised?
Tell me about your brother.
I would prefer not to speak of Anthony. Another time, perhaps.
I'll let you get back to work.
Someone left sliced plums on the windowsill again. The juice is attracting flies. There are spiders everywhere. The plums were right in front of me, but I can't quite recall who took them.
Inquisitor. That's got a good ring to it. We're happy to be here, Your Worship. You need anything, let me know.
We'll talk later.
How's it going?
See you later, Bull.
Nice talking with you, boss.
Of course.
Hey you, I have an Inquisitor favor to ask. Just a little thing, really. A little march around for some of your people. It's nothing for you, right?
All right, let's hear what you've got.
Jump right in, huh? I like that. It's a Red Jenny thing. I got a tip that some noble stiffs are arguing over Vershel. Land squabble. They're getting little people beat up, so I need you to go to your big table and send some people to walk through town.
Just walk through?
Just walk through. Easy, right?
Was this a tip from one of your friends?
Not a Jenny. Just normal angry people getting sick of being in the middle. I don't usually hear about things this far away, but having a friend like you is like getting really big ears. Bigger than normal, I guess, because we both... Never mind.
Who's asking for this?
I'm asking, because I heard people complaining. See, when nobles fight, it's not them, it's their little people stuck in the middle. It's like a polite war, so no one pays attention. But if you march through, the people up top feel threatened too. Stuff like this is always happening. Good sovereigns to be made if you're one of the few who notice.
All right, Sarah. I'll have someone look into it.
It's fun, right? Being important without doing a thing. Well, not much of a thing. Not everything has to be torn skies and ancient arseholes. Every little thing makes a difference somewhere.
I'll ask around again tomorrow.
What are you doing?
Listening. Eyes rough, jangling armor hurts my ears, back aching, fingers too clumsy for knots. Wind cool like Aunt Eloise's pond, lips scalded as I sip, warmth blossoms, first kiss in the barn, what was his name? Tin jangle as the blood spills, Pierre's wrapped body on the wagon to the chantry, 5 more minutes, my fault.
Can you listen to anyone's mind like you did hers?
No, they have to need me. Pain, fear, sadness, guilt, anger, hurt. Things I can fix.
Can you do something for her?
Yes. It's okay. Nothing you did mattered.
What? Who are you?
They lie there, and sometimes they die, just like Pierre. You can't save them.
I don't know who you are.
Wait. That didn't work. Let me try again. You'll forget me in a minute.
What are you going to do?
Make her forget me. Then do it again, the right way. You can't save all of them.
What?
Like Pierre getting sick after you snuck out to Aunt Eloise's pond. You want it to be your fault, so there's a reason and it's not so frightening. But there is no reason. Pierre just got sick. The soldier was never going to live. It wasn't your fault. Better.
So you walk into their lives, make them feel better, and they just forget you?
Yes. It's better to help and then be gone. If I stay, it can be frightening.
For you or for them?
Yes. Thank you for letting me help her. It's not how a person would do it. But it helped. That's what matters.
he's doing
You get a title, I get the boot. I see how it is. I mean, thanks for my life. Pleased to serve.
This is just... it's something to keep their hands busy. I'm grateful you tracked me down when you did. As exciting as wandering the woodlands was, this is better. It's good to be part of something so important. Something that could change things.
I'm pleased that you feel that way.
Makes me sound like a Chantry sister, doesn't it? Some giddy new initiate. But so be it. I suppose you've earned my loyalty and girlish enthusiasm. You are who you choose to follow. Someone told me that once. Took me years to understand what he meant.
There's wisdom in that.
It was a chevalier who said those words to me. A powerful man, but never without honor. A true knight. We met as competitors in the Grand Tourney. He left me with that advice before we parted. Put aside his own ambitions to help me win the melee. I don't think I even thanked him.
What is this Grand Tourney?
You've never heard of it? The Grand Tourney of the Free Marches. It's a spectacle. Song, dance, wine, every amusement you can imagine. But the greatest part is the contest of arms. Prove yourself in the Grand Tourney, and you can make your fortune.
How did he help you?
There were 100 men on the field, each one fighting for himself. The knight and I had forged an alliance. It was just the two of us, and we took all comers. The goal, down as many opponents as possible. He always let me deliver the final blow.
He must have wanted something from you to help like that.
A pupil, a squire. Someone to teach and to mold. He saw my potential. When it was over, he offered to mentor me. To teach me to become a chevalier like him. And I, young and stupid, turned him down flat. I just won the melee at the Grand Tourney. I didn't need him. I should have gone with him. Perhaps things could have been different.
You're here now. A Grey Warden. It worked out.
I suppose it did, didn't it? But I'm older, hopefully wiser. And I think I've chosen the right person to walk with.
I've found where the Red Templars come from. They're in Fall Redoubt. The Knights were fed red lyrium until they turned into monsters. Samson took over after their corruption was complete.
How do you know Samson?
He was a Templar in Kirkwall, until he was expelled from the Order. I knew he was an addict, but this... Red lyrium is nothing like the lyrium given by the Chantry. Its power comes with a terrible madness.
The Red Templars swarming Haven were proof enough.
We cannot allow them to gain strength. The Red Templars still require lyrium. If we find their source, we can weaken them and their leader.
Where do we begin?
Caravans of red lyrium are being smuggled along trade roads. Investigating them could lead to where it's being mined. If you confront them, be wary. Anything connected to Samson will be well guarded.
Strangest thing, when I reached down, my dagger was gone. Just gone. Know where I found it? In a barrel. The thing...
Lots of standards. That'll guide the dragon right in.
Someone emptied a whole bag of turnips into the fire. Ah.
What can I do for you?
We'll talk later.
Goodbye. Something you need?
I should go.
As you wish.
Yes?
I wanted to ask you about the Circle of Magi.
Of course. What do you wish to know?
You must have an opinion of the Templars after living so long in the Circle.
Having opinions about Templars, my dear, is exactly like having opinions about mages or Navarrans or men. I have known some who were impossible to endure and some who were utterly charming. I have suffered insults at the hands of those in the armor, but no more than I endured from nobles or tradesmen in Val Royaux. Personally, I have found the Templars a useful tool, skilled at keeping more unpleasant elements at bay. Yes?
I'd like to know more about you, Madame Vivienne.
Whatever would you like to know?
I'm curious how a Circle Mage winds up a courtier.
Nobody winds up at court, my dear. It takes a great deal of effort to arrive there. I caught the eye of Duke Bastien de Ghislaine, an advantageous connection that opened many doors. When the position of Enchanter to the Imperial Court became vacant, I was able to secure it.
What duties does a court enchanter have?
I am tasked with providing assistance to the Empress on arcane matters. Most of my predecessors restricted this to lighting lamps and doing parlor tricks. In such troubled times as these, however, I provide political advice to Her Majesty on the subject of the Mage Rebellion.
You're married to the Duke de Ghislaine.
Of course not, my dear. Don't be ridiculous. Marriage is the business of alliance and inheritance. I'm Bastien's mistress.
And what does the Duchess de Ghislaine think of this arrangement?
We got along quite well. Duchess Nicoline and I used to host musical salons together. She was a great patron of the arts. She passed away from a fever a few years ago, the poor dear.
Your accent's not Orlesian. Where exactly are you from?
I am from the Circle, my dear. One's country of origin rarely matters there. But if you must know, I was born in Wycombe in the Free Marches. I was sent to the Ostwick Circle, but I transferred to Monsignor while still an apprentice.
Did you need something?
I'll leave you to your work. Fertile ground even here. This hold has everything.
Visitor, Elan Vimar. Honored to represent the College of Herbalists and offer my services as apothecary. My colleague Adan was clear about the worth of your cause. I look forward to assisting him.
He didn't seem all that friendly toward me.
A sign of his respect. Smiles are saved for fools, so they leave quickly. All the mundane needs of Skyhold will be well tended. If you note anything special, let me know. I'm here to serve the cause we must.
Ah, Inquisitor, you have finally come into your own. The Maker has put you on a difficult path. I pray you walk it safely.
I remember our talk out there before we found Skyhold. It wasn't just the Maker who put me on this path, was it?
The Inquisitor could never have been Cassandra, or Leliana, or me for that matter. We are too political, too tied to the Chantry and all its failings. But I did not make you stand against Corypheus. I did not make you risk death to save the people of Haven. Only you could be the Inquisitor. I only pray the power of the Inquisition is enough.
I'll do my best to earn this.
You earned this in Haven. The Maker has chosen you to deliver us from Corypheus. You have the faith and support of everyone here. Never forget that. Now, was there anything else?
Can you tell me about the original Inquisition?
The original Inquisition was formed after the First Blight, well before the Chantry as we know it. The Inquisitors were hunters, zealots, who tracked and killed cultists and dangerous mages. As Andraste rose to power, the Inquisition came into her service. Instead of hunting those who would do harm, the Inquisitors spread the chant of light by force.
No wonder everyone is so nervous around us. Who chose that name?
Divine Justinia herself. I understand that this was not a popular decision. In any case, once the chant of light had spread far and wide, there was less need for zealots. The Inquisitors became the seekers of truth, and eventually the Templars.
This is a dark chapter of history for the Divine to revisit.
Do you know what impresses me most about the original Inquisition? They fought horrific battles, killed and died for their cause, and when it was time, they put their swords away. Perhaps the name was Divine Justinia's message, that when the Inquisition is needed, it will strike without mercy. But when its work is done, it will put its sword away.
When Corypheus is dead and order restored, the Inquisition will no longer be necessary.
I'm glad to hear you say so, Inquisitor.
Can you tell me anything about Corypheus?
I know nothing of the man personally, but the Chant of Light speaks of what he claims to be. No matter all their power, their triumphs, the mage lords of Tevinter were men and doomed to die. Then a voice whispered within their hearts, "Shall you surrender your power to time like the beasts of the fields? You are the lords of the earth. Go forth to claim the empty throne of heaven and be gods."
That was one of the old gods speaking in their dreams?
Yes. Dumat, as I understand it. In secret, they worked magic upon magic. All their power and all their vanity they turned against the veil, until at last it gave way.
That sounds like what happened with the breach.
Very similar, Inquisitor. Above them, a river of light. Before them, the throne of heaven waiting. Beneath their feet, the footprints of the Maker, and all around them echoed a vast silence. But when they took a single step toward the empty throne, a great voice cried out, shaking the very foundations of heaven and earth.
Corypheus said he found only chaos and corruption.
The Chant of Light says that it was beautiful until the Maker himself spoke. And so is the golden city blackened with each step you take in my hall. Marvel at perfection, for it is fleeting. You have brought sin to heaven and doom upon all the world.
Corypheus seemed so certain that he heard nothing. He described it as dead whispers.
Bitterness, perhaps? He paid a high price for his crime. Violently were they cast down, for no mortal may walk bodily in the realm of dreams, bearing the mark of their crime.
Walking bodily in the realm of dreams is exactly what Corypheus said he did. But the mark, could it be related to the mark I bear?
I cannot say. Perhaps Andraste saw clearly and we misinterpreted her words. It was always taught that the mark they bore was the shape of Darkspawn. Bodies so maimed and distorted that none should see them and know them for men. That is all I know of your adversary, Inquisitor.
Some of the Chant of Light describes what we've seen and what Corypheus said, but not all of it.
The Chant of Light is the work of mankind. We of all people must accept that mankind is fallible. Listeners may have misheard one of Andraste's songs. Just one word sung incorrectly could change everything. And how many verses were stricken or changed for foolish political reasons, like the Canticle of Chartan. Still, I would trust these words over any spoken by Corypheus. I hope they help you.
Thanks for my life in Haven. You've all sorts serving now. If that means change, so be it.
And what else did Lady Forsythia say? That she'd rather drown herself than help the Inquisition. Anything else? She said she'd have us flogged alive if we allied with her brother. That does sound like her. Cheer up, Josie. We at least have her attention. You always do find the brighter side of things. We are in the midst of cementing an alliance with Lady Forsythia of Navarra, Your Worship. It's become a somewhat delicate task.
She'll have us flogged alive.
I believe she meant flayed alive. Her ladyship tends to confuse metaphors when she's excitable. I dissuaded her from sending soldiers when she learned we'd struck an accord with a brother she's feuding with. Lady Forsythia simply employs a colorful manner of speech.
Dealing with so many demanding, strong-willed people can't be easy.
It's no less intense than my days at court, Inquisitor, I assure you. But I confess I do miss my staff from the embassy in Antiva. It was always useful to discuss the day's visitors with them.
I have time if you'd like to review things with me.
I wouldn't wish to impose.
If it were imposing, I wouldn't have offered.
Well, I admit there are a few potential alliances it would be good to discuss. Right on the parlor floor, in front of everyone at the soiree. Who does such a thing in front of their guests?
The Duke of Kellington, apparently.
And then there's Cole's lurking. It frightens our guests half to death. Lord Gennard still won't respond to our letters. And Sarah, can she not find a single overshirt without mustard stains on it? Then there's Dorian. The man refuses to take anything seriously unless it suits its whim. Not to mention... Oh goodness. Have we been here an hour already?
Two and a half hours, I think. But no one's counting.
Oh, dear. I didn't intend to go on for so long. You must think me quite the gossip.
Spending time with such an engaging woman is never unpleasant, Lady Montillier.
Goodness. I'm glad I haven't wasted your day. Well, I've taken up quite enough of your time already. Until next time, Your Worship.
They have certainly spared no expense.
Let us begin. Let's see what we have.
All right.
Impressive, is it not? Fit for a leader, meant to show influence and the burden of it. It is where the Inquisition will sit in judgment, where you will sit in judgment.
Who will I be judging exactly?
Those who have done wrong. You will know of them, at the very least. All this presumes they have survived their initial encounter with you, of course.
Still more lives in my hands.
You are a beacon of law, Inquisitor, as others retreat from responsibility. But this needn't be bloody. The Inquisition's sovereignty is derived from the allies who validate it. You are both empowered and bound. Justice has many tools. If their application is clever, execution may even seem merciful by comparison.
Is there anyone I should judge?
Take the throne when you're ready. We will bring him before you. This was a surprise. After you return from the bogs, we discovered this man attacking the building with a goat. Chief Movran the Under. He feels slighted by the killing of his Avar tribesmen, who repeatedly attacked you first. What should we do with him? Where should he go?
You answered the death of your clan with a goat?
A courtroom? Unnecessary. You killed my idiot son, and I answered, as is my custom, by smacking your holdings with goat's blood.
Don't look at me.
No foul. You meant to murder Tevinters, but got feisty with your Inquisition. A red-headed mother guarantees a brat. Do as you've earned, Inquisitor. My clan yields. My remaining boys have brains still in their heads.
I don't have time for idiots. Let's get this over with. Chief Movran, crimes, etc. You and your people just get out.
Push us out. You've earned it. Have fun with whoever we push back.
You recall Gerion Alexius of Tevinter. Ferelden has given him to us as an acknowledgement of your aid. The formal charges are apostasy, attempted enslavement, and attempted assassination on your own life, no less. Tevinter has disowned and stripped him of his rank. You may judge the former magister as you see fit.
I remember what would have happened to Thedas if his treachery had succeeded.
I couldn't save my son. Do you think my fate matters to me?
Will you offer nothing more in your defense?
You've won nothing. The people you saved, the acclaim you've gathered. You'll lose it all in the storm to come. Render your judgment, Inquisitor.
You served a monster, Alexius. There's nothing more to be said. You'll die now by my hand. Again.
What do you mean? Again? Inquisitor! Did the spell work?
So, Alexius is dead. All the good he once stood for, his integrity, his beliefs. He betrayed them all. I won't say he didn't deserve death. I just wish there'd been another way.
I should go.
You know where I'll be.
I will say though that now playing this again, it kind of felt like going to the Emerald Graves. It kind of felt like a part 1, part 2, part 3 kind of thing, because you know they mentioned so many times the Empress, the Eluine, and the Exalted Plains. And I do remember there's like some stuff you do in each of those places that it's kind of connected to all 3 of those places at the same time. So in a way, I kind of feel like maybe the idea I had where, you know, like I do the Emerald Graves first and then move on to Here Lies the Abyss. Now thinking about, you know, like the stuffs we can do in the Exalted Plains and the Empress Eluine place. Although not really much for the Empress Eluine place, because we're going to stay away from most of the areas around there, especially the 3 dragons. But personally, kind of feel like maybe we'll do those places first, just like we did there. Just like go around, do some stuffs here and there, and then once we know that we go to areas it's like too much, we don't go there, and we go back. So I feel like we should do that too. So obviously we'll stop here, and when we come back again for the next video, we'll go to either the Exalted Plains or the Empress Eluine, and just pretty much do everything again as we did with this one. And then obviously, you know, when we're back in 2 weeks, exact same thing, just continue on with one of the places, and then we move on to Here Lies the Abyss. Alrighty, so again, we'll stop here, be back with us again another time, and as always, leave a like and comments.